Hey everybody, welcome to a new segment on the channel called Lest Ye Forget, where we take an event that should never be forgotten and remind everyone of it. Today I want to remind you that on August 8th, 2004, Dave Matthews pooped on like 100 people. Now, he didn't physically poop on them. He didn't like undo his belt and unbutton his pants and unzip his pants and then pull down his pants and then pull down his boxers and then pop a squat and then go for it. It was more like a Dave Matthews Band tour bus emptied its septic tank into the Chicago River, drenching about 100 people on a tour boat that was traveling underneath the bridge in about 800 pounds of human waste. Now, I wasn't on the scene when it happened, but the Chicago Tribune was, and in this crack piece of copy from 2005, they wrote the following. Passengers on the tour boat, Chicago's Little Lady, described the downpour of foul-smelling brownish-yellow slurry that ruined their clothes and made several of them sick. Brilliant reporting there. But fortunately, the article goes on to say that everyone on the boat was given a refund by the tour company. Thank goodness for that, huh? And I think it's important to remember that this happened, that Dave Matthews pooped on all of these people. But even in combing over old news articles, I still have so many unanswered questions. You see, this 2005 article was about how the bus driver pled guilty to dumping poop on people, and he was fined $10,000 and given 18 months of probation and sentenced to 150 hours of community service. And I found an article from Chicago's NBC affiliate from 2009, 5 years later, which states that Dave Matthews is still apologizing, where he says, "I'll apologize for that as long as I have to. The bus driver lost his job, and I didn't have my finger on the button, but it was one of our buses." Now, am I the only one who finds it ironic that the bus driver is the only one in this whole situation who got thrown under the bus? And judging from this story, under Dave Matthews' tour bus is a pretty crappy place to be. But there's one more thing that bothers me more than the bus driver being the only one who got in trouble. It's this. I've been on tour with rock and roll bands. I've spent plenty of time on tour buses, and reading the story, I had just one question. How is there so much poop on the bus? You stop once every 4 hours or so when you're on tour. Why wouldn't you just wait to use the facilities at a truck stop to take a dump? I mean, what would compel a person to take a dump on a crowded tour bus in a confined space? That person is the real monster. And it sounds like since the payload that the unsuspecting voyagers on Chicago's Little Lady ended up covered in was 800 pounds, it was a relatively common occurrence. It boggles my mind. I mean, every tour bus I've ever been on, the number one rule is that you're not allowed to take a dump. But apparently, that's not the case with Dave Matthews Band. So, anyhow, I bring this up because I think it's something we should all remember, lest we forget. And because even though I should be making music right now, I have a wee touch of the writer's block. And when I get writer's block, I don't know what to do, so I just make dumb videos to post on YouTube. It doesn't really help, but at least it's somewhat productive. So I want to know, what do you all do when you get writer's block? Let me know in the comments below, and maybe you'll help me out, or maybe you'll help someone out who happens upon this video at some point in the future. Hey, it beats getting pooped on by Dave Matthews, right?